Hi, I'm Steve Thompson.
You didn't say president and CEO.
All right, we'll start over. Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president and CEO of Emery Thompson Machine.
There we
and
go.
I'm losing my props.
I'm Christy Brown, vice president of sales. I know, I'm just Christy Brown.
And vice president of sales and
Yes.
marketing. And guess what I'm going to talk about today? Maybe pints. It's possible. Let's see. I've talked about pints before. It's an incredible way to make money. Ever since COVID came along in February of 2020, we had our customers switching over to selling pints. Today, it's the biggest part of a frozen dessert business is selling pints. I just wanted to give you some numbers. One of these days, we'll put it up on a whiteboard so you can see it, but I couldn't find a whiteboard this morning. But one bag of ice cream mix or blend, that's 2.5 gallons of mix, will yield 64 of these, 64 pints. You can sell these starting at $8. They go $9, $10, $11, depending on your market, but really the minimum has become $8. People will always buy two because you want one for yourself and one for your significant other when you show up at home. Otherwise, you'll be sleeping in the garage. And if you sell these at $8, your gross profit on a 24-quart batch, which is the machine behind me with the door open, is going to be $512 out of one bag of mix. Your cost for the mix is roughly $12 per gallon, so times 2.5 gallons of mix, that's $30. If we take $512 and subtract $30, you're now making $482 out of one bag of mix. That's fantastic. One bag, as I said or didn't say, will make 64 of these. You then put it into the hardening cabinet that we sell over Christie's shoulder, the big tall thing, and I haven't figured out how many that holds, but it's a ton of these. And they're going to be ready in about 7 hours, frozen down to 25 below zero. They can stay there for days as your inventory, or you can pull them out. And then you put them into the little black freezer that you see there, which is a chest freezer that goes to 10 below that I got at Walmart for, what was it, $149?
Yeah,
$149. And there's your display. You put a sign up that says, take out pints, and you let the customer open it up and rummage through it and pick out the flavors that they want. Batch freezer, hardening cabinet, dispensing freezer. It couldn't be simpler, and $482 out of a $30 investment. That's some markup.
It definitely is. That's just in plain basic too. If you got all fancy flavors, like butter pecan and stuff like that, you can charge more than the $8, especially if it's boozy ice cream, then you could charge $9. So this was definitely a unique question. Does the cottage food law apply on making ice cream if I just want to have prepackaged items like the ice cream? No, it doesn't. The food cottage law is only for items that are not refrigerated, like spices, baked goods, cookies, jams, and jellies. That's what the cottage food law applies to. So yes, you will need to get your permits, your licensing, whichever you need. Always start with your local health department. We get asked questions all the time, and some of them we can kind of advise or guide you in a right direction, but it really falls with your local health department because every state and county is different. What might work for us here in Florida may not work for New Mexico or California or Pennsylvania. So start there and always definitely give us a call and chat with us too, but go to your local health department.
Years ago, I put 5 Greek brothers from Brooklyn into business. They moved down to Birmingham, Alabama to set up their Italian ice business. And when I saw it all set up, I looked at it and I said, wait a minute, you're selling Italian ice, but you're calling it Greek ice. He goes, we're not Italian. Why should we call it Italian ice? We call it Greek ice. In other words, the name can be anything you want it to be. A customer calls up and says, I'm interested. We spent this past weekend, Memorial Day weekend, talking about Polish water ice. What is Polish water ice? Well, I thought, okay, this is going to be simple. It's going to be like Greek ices or all the other names that we use, water ice, Italian ice, sorbet, sorbetto. It's all the same thing, sugar, water, and flavor. My Italian ices are sugar, water, and fresh fruit. However, this product was not quite the same. This is what they say about it. Polish water ice is not the same as Italian water ice. That's true, it's not.
I've never seen
Polish water ice is a creamy, soft serve water ice that is 100% fat-free, 100% cholesterol-free, 100% dairy-free, and 100% delicious. Well, that's true of all Italian ice. They're all fat-free, cholesterol-free, sodium-free, I might add, and dairy-free as long as it's not a cream ice. Basically, a Polish ice is made in a soft ice cream machine, and it's nothing more than a fancy name for a Slurpee. The same old 7-Eleven Slurpee. That's all it is. They say that it has all these great names and it's different from everything else. It has no real pieces of fruit in it, no nuts, no candies, no Oreo cookies. The colors, which you can't see on my sheet here, are bright blue and bright red. Those aren't natural, not unless they come from Green Mountain Flavors, who specializes in all natural colors. But the main thing is, it's not Italian ice. Italian ice people, water ice people, you've got nothing to worry about from Polish ice. It's nothing more than a Slurpee and some big advertising hype. I mean, I think even Dole Whip would be better to sell than this. Oh, and Polish ice is made in a soft ice cream machine where you pull it down one handle at a time. That's why no nuts, cookies, candies, nothing. It's just a Slurpee. So use your batch freezer, use your Emery Thompson batch freezer, and make millions of dollars.
So this, we've kind of touched on this on different aspects. So Todd asked, is it considered no sugar added if all I'm adding to my ice cream mix is vanilla extract? Yes and no. You are not adding any sugar, but the dairy mix, the milk already from the cow naturally contains sugar. And then on top of that, they do add more sugar into the mix. So that is a sugar added in that content. But you personally are not adding more sugar. You can always get like sugar-free cookies, sugar-free candies, things like that. Because, people will, how do you make dairy or sugar-free ice cream? There's no such thing. It is a no sugar added. You personally are not adding any sugar. So yes and no. So it was kind of like a yes and no question.
My father-in-law he was NYPD, and he used to love to have the Breyers vanilla ice cream, and he insisted on the no sugar added. The man was as skinny as a pole, but he wanted the no sugar added for his weight. But it just wasn't no sugar added, and since he was my new father-in-law, I wasn't going to argue, and since he carried a gun, I wasn't going to argue with him. My last one is Tracy writes in, and she says, have you ever added sweet and condensed milk to your Italian ice? It's a really good question. I've certainly heard of it. I haven't done it myself because I didn't have cause to. So I looked it up, and here's what they say. The use of sweetened condensed milk, a pre-cooked blend of milk and sugar, eliminates the usual cooking step of dissolving the sugar when making ice cream. It has a low freezing point, so the formulation of ice crystals is minimized, and it lends itself to recipes made without an ice cream freezer. Well, bite your tongue for saying that. But she's talking about Italian ice. And the sweetened condensed milk is actually a good idea because when we're making a cream ice, which is sugar, water flavor, and some ice cream mixed to it, you pretty much have to have a frozen dessert license in your state for making ice cream and then also Italian ices. If you're just doing Italian ices, the rules are completely different. So it saves you for having to go out and get an ice cream blend. Adding just cream to it is acceptable to me, but it might be iffy with the health department. But the sweetened condensed milk comes in a can. I think Carnation makes it, and it's been around for a gazillion years. And you just open up the can, and it's a combination of milk and sugar, and you just pour it into your machine, and the health department looks at it as an ingredient. It's nice to do because cream ices are smooth and creamy. They are dairy, whereas the product we were just talking about, a real Italian ice, has no dairy in it. So it is a good alternative. She also asked, does this eliminate the need for a stabilizer? No, it has nothing to do with the stabilizer. It's just the difference between Italian ice, Italian water ice, and a cream ice.
In Hawaii, there was a don't hate me. It was shaved ice. There was a very famous, apparently he was very famous for it, his shaved ice, and he added condensed milk to his. So it's not uncommon for that. I just got told we got 30 seconds. So this is a good one. Can I put more mix into the machine than the max allowed to reduce my overrun? No. But we have the IOC, which is the whole purpose of that, to control your overrun. So don't put any more than the max that we recommend, and don't put any less than the minimum that we recommend. And then just control it with your IOC, you know, with the touchscreen that Steve came up with quite a few years back. So if you want to make a super premium or a gelato, a custard, or anything in between that, every chef is different. So you have the ability to control it at what speed you like. If you want a little more overrun, you can manually adjust it. Same thing for less. But that's the whole beauty and the part of the Emery Thompson is your IOC, and then of course adding any ingredients right into it. So I think we're done for today.
That was a great answer, and thank you for working my name into it, the guy who signs the checks around here.
Yes.
I appreciate the promo.
You're welcome.
Have a good week. We'll see you later.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye.